Hey there, welcome back. We're doing tennis elbow today. If you have tennis elbow, you probably know that it is a pain, well, literally, and it's just really tricky to treat. So I'm going to give you some massage therapy techniques you can do on yourself to alleviate the symptoms of tennis elbow and promote some healing in the tissue. Now, the number one thing that you can do for this condition is stop the thing that's perpetuating it. So if that's tennis, you want to take a break for at least 2 weeks. Now, some people can't stop what they're doing because maybe it's aggravated by typing or doing some sort of repetitive motions with your hands or arms during your workday. In that case, just do as little as you can, only when needed. Try to take breaks. And you want to do these self-massage techniques pretty regularly and stretch. So really taking care of yourself, getting plenty of sleep, staying hydrated, and really minimizing the amount that you're irritating the area. So let's start today by just squeezing the forearm. And you want to direct the pressure on the backside, along the backside, the extensor surface, because that's what's affected with tennis elbow. And they all converge, all these muscles converge up into one tendon at this lateral epicondyle. That's why it's the technical name is lateral epicondylitis, because there's some inflammation around that. Right under that bump, that lateral epicondyle, you feel that bump on the side of your elbow. Right under that is a big tendon. That's the common extensor tendon, where all these muscles join up and run in, and that's often what's damaged during tennis elbow, as well as one or two of the muscles. So let's just start by squeezing, give it some nice pressure. Now I like to have my arm resting either on my lap or on a pillow. If that's too much pressure on your arm, you could also have it on, say, like a coffee table with the hand hanging off. I'd like the hand free so that we can do some wrist movements a little later. So you don't want to be with the hand on the table, because then you can't move it. So go ahead and squeeze. And just start up at the elbow and bring it down. Now, noticing I'm hinging at the hips here to apply pressure. I'm not going like this and rounding the back. You want to protect your back. So I'm really just hinging at the hips and using the weight of my body to apply the pressure much more than I am squeezing. I'm relaxing my hand and applying pressure. This is how you'll be able to massage your arm for as long or as short as you like, because your hand won't get so tired out because you're using your body weight. Now, hold that and start doing a little supination, pronation with the forearm, just turning the palm up, turning the palm down. Go to a new place, hold the tissue as you turn up and turn down. You're getting a little stretch here. Move down at the wrist, up, down. You can go way up towards that big tendon. Great. So now that it's nice and warm, hopefully, you take your other forearm, put it way up at the elbow crease, and what we're going to do is just lean in with our bodies, apply this broad pressure to the extensor surface, and the trajectory is down towards the fingers of the affected arm. So you're just going to lean in and let the tissue take you, let it melt. You're not pushing it, you're not forcing it across, and you're certainly not sliding on the skin. You don't want to be sliding on the skin. So you want to be free of any lotions or moisturizers or anything that would make you slip and slide. You really want to engage the tissue here. So it's going to go slow. And you just wait and breathe. This is a great time to just check in with your breath, in through the nose, out through the mouth, and sometimes you can feel the tissue release on the exhale, which is pretty cool. And bring it all the way down to the wrist, and then we're going to repeat the same thing, but we're going to add some active movement. So again, leaning in, hinge at the hips, lean in with your body weight, and we're going to start extending the wrist and flexing the wrist. And remember here, you're only applying as much pressure as is comfortable for you. If it's a little bit tender but very tolerable, That's okay. You don't want to go more than that. And if moving the wrist is creating too much pain, back off and just do it the way we did before, no movements. Now you can add even more by stretching the fingers back when you extend, and then with the flexion, curl the fingers into a fist and bring it down. That's really going to stretch it. You'll feel that. So bring it back, stretch the fingers back, and bring it forward, curl the fingers in. All right, now we're going to apply a little bit more a specific pressure. So we're gonna use a soft fist. We're gonna use our knuckles here. Resting the arm down, you're gonna start down at the wrist this time, and we're gonna work our way up towards the elbow. So go ahead and engage the tissue with the soft fist, with the knuckles. See, we're working our way a little bit deeper and deeper. And if you like, and if it feels good, you can start that movement again. So extending back, down, and if you'd like to curl the fingers under. Remember to go really slowly with this. No sudden big movements. See, I'm just moving my wrist really slowly, fluidly. Breathe. I just feel like a nice release. Back off if it's too much. And if you need more pressure, don't push hard, just lean in with a little more body weight. It'll preserve your working arm. And relax more as you exhale. Really use the breath with this. It helps. Okay, all the way up. Now let's address that common extensor tendon directly, as long as it's not too tender for you. If it's really inflamed or super sensitive, you'll want to skip this and do some of the other techniques instead. But find that bump on the side of your elbow, that lateral epicondyle, which is now lateral epicondylitis, and that big tendon right below. And what you're feeling for is not only this big ropey tendon, but where you feel the most pain, soreness, tenderness. Go to that point and just take 4 fingers or 3 fingers or even 2 and start sort of flipping over that point, over that tendon. So I'm going flip over the tendon, and then I'm gently coming back. Flip, gently coming back. This is friction. This is cross fiber friction. And what I find is even more effective is if you go in different directions. So I'll go diagonally and relax back. With pressure, flip over and gently back. The other diagonal. So you can really just kind of do this at your own pace, feeling it, seeing which direction it moves well, what doesn't move. Be real gentle. I don't want you to hurt yourself. You might only be able to apply a very little bit of pressure here, and that's okay. You'll get there. Remember, I'm using my body weight. I'm not jabbing with my fingers. I'm leaning. Think of leaning in, okay? I'll just do this a little bit, about a minute. If you can tolerate it. If it's too much, cut it out. You can even do a little circular friction over the area. And we're going to follow this up with some eccentric contractions to lengthen the tissue, lengthen the muscles there, lengthen the fascia. So it's a little tricky, but you'll get it. Bring your hand all the way back like this. And with the other hand, you're going to press, but resist. So the working hand presses and the affected hand presses back. Now you're going to continue to press back with the affected arm as your working hand presses a little bit harder so that your wrist starts to move down. So you're having sort of an arm wrestle or hand wrestle in this case with your 2 hands, but the affected arm is losing and the working arm is winning. And keep resisting it all the way down. We're going to do that 2 more times. So bring it up. Don't let that working arm push you down, and then lighten up just enough so that it can push you down. Your working arm is overpowering the affected arm. Breathe here as you stretch it out. And this third time we could add the fingers in too. So resist with fingers and the wrist, and it starts to bring your wrist into flexion, and at the same time curl your fingers. Ooh, got a crack there. All the way down. Great. All right, shake it out a little bit. Now we're going to look for some tender points along the extensor surface. So go ahead and just take 2 fingers, 3 fingers, just sort of lean in to different little points along the surface of the forearm and see if you find any points that are particularly tender. And if you do, stay there. Apply as much pressure as is tolerable, well tolerated, and comfortable. It might be a little bit uncomfortable, but not more than that. And you can hold it and breathe into it. You can use the breath. You can use your exhale to release the tension in that spot. And if you want, you can add some movements. You can do the extension and the flexion. You can just try some wrist circles. That's fine too. So it's sort of massaging the muscle under the skin while you hold it still. And then go along your way when you feel like that's released a bit. And find another spot, same thing. Hold it. Breathe. Add some movement if you want. And you could do that for as long as you like. If you have a lot of tender points, you can continue that. And let's just give it some squeezes again, some love. Relaxing the affected arm, leaning in with the working hand. And give the back of your hand a little thumb massage. And while you're there, you might as well give your fingers a little massage. Massage, pull, traction the joints. Feels really nice. Almost like you're twisting off a cap. Move your fingers around, really massage, and pull. Massage and pull. This is nice if you have cold fingers like I do. It's good for warming them up. And pull. And pull. And we'll just finish with a nice stretch, curling in and flexing, and then you can use your working arm to give you a little bit more of a stretch if that's not too much. This might be enough for you, and that's fine. If you want a little bit more, go ahead and stretch a little farther. Let that release on the exhale. Shake it out and just rest your arm down. And take a moment to notice how it feels. If it feels different than it did before. Certainly probably feels more relaxed. See if there's any decrease in the pain. It might feel very stimulated because we just did a lot of techniques, and that'll calm down. If it feels like it's very activated, it'll calm down very quickly as you rest it. And I hope you have a great rest of your day and that this helps. If it did, give me a like and subscribe to my channel for more, and comment below. Let me know what this experience was like for you and what you're doing to treat your tennis elbow, and if you have any other great tips. I'll see you next time.